disease. Earlier on, I was speaking to a doctor for my show Body Garage Wednesday, so ensure you are tuned in for that as well. But yes, I was speaking to a doctor today, and he was talking of vaccines and the need to immunize. Inonda, do you feel like this virus, we are going to beat it anytime soon?
The only way to beat the virus is by learning how to stay with it, because you cannot beat it since it has spread all over. In Kenya right now we are close to 50 million people. If the numbers of the underage children, if they are actually going to give birth, all of them in next year, we are going to have close to 50 million people. And 50 million people, we cannot control them. Let's say the virus is spreading at the rate at which is spreading, then you'll find that everyone could be having the virus.
Well, so, when you say it like that, we have seen reports come out today to say at least 2.6 million Kenyans have been exposed to the virus, and we'll be getting to that later. But now, Inonda, the virus is not a respect of men. Honorable members of society have contracted the disease. COVID-19 is in parliament. But this is what shocked me the most. The fact that these people do not want their status exposed to the public. They do not want to tell us just how many of them have contracted this disease. The double standards.
They're the one who are continuing to spread the stigma, the fear of the COVID. Because, you know, COVID at the August House of the Parliament, to me, it's not something new or something strange. First of all, it started with the most protected house on earth, on Kenyan land, that is the State House. Then it has narrowed down to the Parliament. Earlier on, it was in the slums, Isli, it was in Kibra, it was in Madare. So ikapotea kidogo, went to State House, now to back to the Parliament. Then there is a, I don't know how to call it, because these are our leaders. They are accountable to us, so we need to know if they are ill, who is ill. Like,
and you see, Emmanuel, the fact that in other countries across the world, if the leaders are infected with COVID-19, they come out publicly. We saw in the UK, Boris Johnson come out to say, guys, I have contracted the virus. This is how I am coping. We even knew when he went to ICU. So I'm thinking, what's the big deal? Why should we not know which of our leaders has contracted COVID?
That's where the question mark comes in. Why are you hiding it? When you are elected publicly to go and represent the people, so if anything happens to you, people need to know you. You are accountable to them. You saw the other day, Baba went to Dubai for the a small surgery. This called a small surgery. Then everyone knew it was in the news. He was okay. He agreed he's sick and all that stuff. But just the MPs at the Parliament, they should be telling us, okay, I have it, but I'm recovering, I've recovered. You saw Muturi said, okay, one of them was recovered, the other one is still in the hospital. So the one who was recovered should come out and tell the people, look here, just take care of yourself, this thing is real, and if you follow the rules, the guidelines, and proper treatment, then you'll recover just the way they've recovered. But
for sure, Emmanuel, and the fact that this clearly just shows us how not equal we are. We have seen other premises, Emmanuel, that other people who have contracted COVID-19 within the work premises, the work premises are shut down. You are expecting, I don't know, a lockdown for people in State House, another one for people in Parliament, at least try and digitize some of these processes, because we still expect our country to continue running anyway, you know? So if we are not taking any new precautions, we are still going on business as usual. We are still seeing people in both the National Assembly and the Senate continuing with sittings. And I am laughing because if social distance was an actual thing, you would not have seen senators fighting in the Senate House, Emmanuel,
You see, this Kenya.
Because how do you social distance as you fight?
You see, this is Kenya, this is Africa. And we saw one of the biggest media houses, CGTN, was closed for close to 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks, after one of the staff was found to be COVID positive. The whole station shut down. Now here we are in Parliament. 2 members have been confirmed. Initially there are more than 7, but the speaker came out to rubbish those claims, saying, okay, there are only 2. So why was it not closed down? We've seen so many people in parliament right now. Then I'm wondering, okay, if you close down, then the allowances of these people will have to go down. They won't get the sitting allowances, so they prefer getting the allowances money than the.
Well, sitting allowances, if it's a matter of sitting allowances, if you attend a Zoom meeting, that will not prevent you from getting your sitting allowance.
But
or it is actually the actual sitting on the chair is what.
They don't know how to use Zoom. These honorable members, they have so many expensive gadgets, modern technology in phones, but they only use for calling and WhatsApping. So how will they use Zoom?
What?
Huh?
What?
Yeah, how will they use Zoom? You can imagine someone like Kalembe Ndile using Zoom.
Wow.
Yet he's been telling us here in Mtoto wa Squatter, he never did what? I don't find education being important, so how will he be using Zoom? It's not possible. So it's just, if they what they practice is what the common mananchi to practice down there. So you'll not go to Githurai and find people social distancing. They'll tell you, okay, our MPs are not doing the same. Yet they're our leaders. We've seen some other people saying, okay, I'd rather be sick, be ill, be COVID positive than the member of parliament, my MP. So that's it. So these people have taken our minds. It's like they have brainwashed us. So whatever they do is good, but if you do the exact thing they've done is against the law. So
well, Emmanuel, speaking of the law, Kenyans, I think, are not as excited this time. The president is expected to give an address on Monday on way forward for COVID-19 containment measures, which include lockdown of the Nairobi metropolitan area, also curfews as well. What do we expect with these numbers looking like this?
Right now, I don't think. You see, last month,
tulichapwa na butua
after hyping, campaigning, all sorts of campaign. Uhuru Kenyatta is not on Twitter, but he got the messages. He said,
he saw the memes. He clearly told us he saw them.
Yeah, he told us, okay, it's not about the freedom, but it's about your health. Right now, the Kenyans have decided, okay, there's no need of hyping it. I think they spent a lot on internet and creativity to try and pursue Uhuru to open the borders and lift the lockdown. But look here, they are quiet, they are waiting. It's close to 2 or 3 days from now. 3 or 4 days from now on 6th. They are expecting a very huge press conference. But then I won't be surprised if Ndrai Kagwe comes out before 6th and says, okay, we have extended the curfew and everything to next month.
And when you say we are not excited, Emmanuel, I feel like we have already normalized living with this disease. And we have also normalized these containment measures in such a way that curfew time is no longer respected.
It's no longer respected.
The guidelines issued by the government are no longer respected. The porosity of border points.
Where I stay, the shops start closing at 10:30.
What?
Yeah, 10:30.
What?
From 9 to 10:30 to 11, business as usual, as equal. So people have decided, okay, let's just live with this particular thing.
It saddens me, Emmanuel. I was actually walking around in my estate as well around 9:30 p.m. Essential workers. I don't know if everyone else was, but the police officers who are manning the area, people were just minding their own business. The police were minding their business. The people walking around were just minding their business. And I'm thinking, did we reopen this country and nobody issued the memo for us that you're now good to continue?
I don't think there's need for reopening because people have already reopened themselves. Just walk in town at night, you'll find so many people there. Then the police are still there. So you wonder, all these people essentials. So it's just a matter of time. I'm sure if they add another month or two, the business will just come to normal. You've seen so many people traveling up country using different means. You understand?
We actually have, and the porosity of these borders just makes me think, well, to reopen or not to reopen, we have agreed we will not jinx this like we did last time,
The only place where the border has been locked is the tarmac pale kwa lami peke yake. That's where the police are. But the people, wakifika tarmac, they'll just take the Panya road to wherever they are going to.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the discrepancy in the numbers. Kiambu Central Legislator Jude Njomo lost his mother last month. May she rest in peace. But now this has created a platform for a back and forth with Lancet Kenya, even coming out to say strongly defend the legitimacy of their tests. Why can't we seem to agree on these numbers, though?
You see, when the COVID started, when we reported the first number, the people said, okay, we have the government is looking for an avenue of having so many numbers so that they can get funding. Now funding seems to have started coming in. We are starting to see the discrepancies. That was just a lawmaker who is anajiweza kidogo, who managed to do a different test for his mother. Then he found out that the late mother was not COVID positive. So how many people have been buried in that manner, claiming to be COVID positive, yet they are not?
You know, Emmanuel, it is one thing for us to say we know this is what is happening, but the government coming out to say clearly this is what is happening on their end as well. Now, the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers chairperson Peter Washiria was interviewed here on TV47 by our CEO Abubakar. And while the government claims no health workers have succumbed to COVID-19, Mr. Washiria knows of 2 people who have succumbed to the virus. So what numbers do we believe really? Do we start tallying? Wakihesabu tunahesabu? This handshake is messing everything in this country.
You see, these numbers, Mutai's numbers are close to 7,000. Other people have their different figures. Then, so you wonder who is telling the truth, because chair of the nurses won't come out saying our members have died of this. Then you dispute. He can't lie about death, because he can show you where they are buried. He can show you. He has the test from the samples they were taken from them. So you cannot start disputing, trying to play PR. Why can't we just say the truth? We have few numbers, we have more numbers.
Yeah, and today one of the local dairies, zinaitwa nini? Dailies. Dairy ni maziwa.
Dairy ni maziwa. They're not.
My name betrays me. So one of the local dailies had an alarming headline claiming that at least 2.6 million Kenyans may have already been exposed to the coronavirus. This according to a study done by Kemri Wellcome Trust. Curiously, of the people tested in Northeastern, none had the virus. 2.6 million.
2.6 million of COVID cases in the country. Should it be alarming or not?
Well, I don't know whether to be scared or whether to be happy, because when you look at this, if 2.6 million of us are infected and none of us are showing symptoms, well, that's then a good thing. It means we can go about our business.
What does it tell you? We can live with it and do our normal business. Yeah. So,
but that might also tell you, Emmanuel, that we are yet to see the worst yet, because you do not know how the disease is going to progress.
The incubation period is just 14 days. Yeah, you cannot tell me out of those 2 million people who are infected in the past 1 week. Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. So.
But you spoke of reinfections earlier.
That's correct, but they have no impact. If you can be reinfected, it means for the first time you recovered, then you've been reinfected.
Well,
so 2.6 million. I know the Minister of Health and the government will come and say, okay, this PR, whatever. But you know who is giving the reports? The research comes from the Kemri. And you know, at the beginning of this exercise, the Kemri boss was edged out. Was it because of this? So some dots can be joined from afar if you are keen.
Yeah.
But then again, maybe people who are watching can call us and tell us.
Yeah. Especially they can call and tell us if they know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who has coronavirus. Because at this point, this is important for us to come out and reduce this stigma. COVID-19, Emmanuel, is an issue that we will keep looking at and exploring and finding out new information and facts about. So keep it TV47. All our news updates actually have details on the progress of COVID-19 in the country. Now, matters politics. After the Senate committee saved Waiguru from impeachment, it wrote a report. Now, the report recommended that the toxic relationship between Waiguru and the county assembly should be looked into. This feels like a bad marriage, Emmanuel. You're stuck with each other till death do you part.
You see, sometimes it's better to walk away, but who can walk away in this situation? The MCS can't, Waiguru can't.
Has refused to walk away.
Both of them, they would rather die. So one is forcing the other to walk away. But then again, you see the toxic relationship, someone would ask, how toxic? The toxic relationship in politics.
It is very toxic, Emmanuel. If you remember, there were even accusations of farts. Yeah, you can imagine how toxic that relationship has to be.
Let me tell you, it's not. You know, if it depends with each side of political divide you are. That's where the relationship comes in. Who would imagine someone like Joho, who was insulting the president daily and daring him daily, one day even crash into his meetings in Mombasa, they would one day come together and shake hands and say, okay, my brother, my brother, my brother, my brother. It just depends which side are you. So in Kirinyaga, just something small just needs to be done. And then you'll find these people are singing Waiguru again. It's not the first time Waiguru is being an outcast.
Well,
first it was Baba who was with Waiguru. They even went to the courts. But after the handshake, now Baba was the good political divide. Waiguru went and withdrew the defamation case in court. So it just tells you which side of the political divide you are.
Well, if you get sanitized or not, yeah? I do not quote me on this one.
Sanitization started recently after the handshake.
Oh, all right, okay. Yeah. Now the Deputy Governor, Peter Njamberi Emmanuel, has openly said that the MCAs who actually went to the Senate to try and impeach Waiguru should not be discriminated when it comes to development projects in Kirinyaga County. Do you feel like these are concerns that, are valid concerns from the Deputy Governor?
It's coming from a Deputy Governor. Why should you be surprised? Nyoro was Deputy Governor for Kiambu.
Okay.
Where is Babayao? And who is the governor right now? Is Nyoro.
Okay.
So Njamberi, in fact, you mentioned him, then I remembered some of his...
Don't go there!
When there was a governor,
there
was governors meeting in Kakamega. Then something came out that he didn't expect to come out. But Waiguru stood with him, and said, okay, these are just mere politics. So I'm surprised right now he's trying to change the tone. Well, meaning he might have been among the MCAs who wanted Waiguru out, so that if Waiguru went out, who would be the governor? Well, it was Njamberi. So he's not happy about it. Then the county assembly has allocated 15 million to the office of the deputy governor, something that has never been there before. The office of the deputy governor had no kitty, but right now iko pale 15 million. So Njamberi has the energy to speak, to talk, and I think they are in the same script.
Well,
the only thing that I didn't see him, I didn't sleep in the county assembly in Kirinyaga with the MCAs. At least was home, or it was maybe the other place.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Now 7 people have been appointed to spearhead the reconciliation process. The most conspicuous name, though, John Njiraini, former KRA Commissioner General. I am shocked. Well, what is going on? I thought this man, we have,
Njiraini, actually I had forgotten him until this time we are talking about him. The former KRA boss. From where I come from, kuna msemo ikisema ukitembea na mchawi ama mwizi utakuwa mwizi ama mchawi. So Njiraini, being among the mediators to create the good relationship between Waiguru and the county MCS, it tells you how politics is dirty, or how politics is just a different game that you don't understand unless if you are playing in the politics. Who knew Njiraini can come in such a mediation team?
Maybe he filed his taxes in time. June the 30th just concluded, so now he had the time to be made a mediator. But this wave, there has been a wave of grilling and potentially impeachments of the governors. Who have we seen this week in the Senate trying to just account to the Senate on what has been going on in the counties?
You see, for the first time since the devolution started in 2013, when we had the governors in office, nearly all governors were grilled, but the only governor who skipped the grilling was the chair of the COG, Wycliffe Oparanya, who is from Kakamega. He skipped the sittings. By that time, it was Halwale was his senator at home. He was on the committee to grill him. So Oparanya skipped all the grilling. He went to the court defended him. But right now, I've seen him being grilled by the Senate. Then you wonder, okay, so what's changed? What changed? And then you will find that who is among the people on that committee is Senator Malala, the guy who is being said to have sanitized Waiguru in the Senate. So Oparanya is just one of them. Then we saw Ngilu.
Ngilu as well. And the fight that was there in the county assembly before she presented herself to the Senate makes me wonder. Are MCAs the next most powerful people in this country? If you can make a whole county boss.
MCAs are good, but we have few rogue ones, and the rogue ones, they infect the good ones so fast, very fast. The infection rate between the MCAs.
Kama ya COVID, yeah?
COVID era ni kidogo. Theirs is have an effect. Let's start with where Wambora in Nyeri was impeached so many times.
That is my governor, actually.
Yeah, he was impeached. We have Babayao. We have Sonko is just Kokwa line. We have Waiguru has been, the impeachment has been there. Then we have Wangamati. Now he's living in fear because
and you know, I think for every county you should just follow the path of Bungoma governor Wangamati, who wants the county government dissolved. He has realized the push and pull between the executive and the MCAs might never end, and he feels like, you know, maybe we should just dissolve this county government if we do not want to work together. Yeah,
the first person to talk about dissolving the county was the Makueni governor, Kivuta Kibwana. He was here, was it yesterday? You know, Kibwana got fed up with this MCS. He wrote to the president asking him to observe some articles in the constitution and dissolve the county, whether they can go back to the re-election or we have no county at all.
All right.
So, and again, he was among the people who are being grilled yesterday.
Yeah, and I feel like these people should find a solution, Emmanuel, because the people who are suffering are not these people, are the people on the ground whose developments and projects and service delivery is not happening too. And on this note, Emmanuel, let us take a short break, because I know the Good Vibes team is preparing a power-packed bulletin, and they want you to know what are the stories that they will be focusing on at 9 p.m. So don't go away. When we come back, call in live, tell us what has been your experience during this COVID-19 period. Stay tuned, don't go away. This is another news. My name is Tracy Mokami, and we have Emmanuel Inonda as well. Remember, you can call in live. The numbers are on the bottom right of your screen. Be part of this discussion. Today, Emmanuel.
Yeah, it's Friday, and I remember sometimes back a few decades ago, Friday ilikuwa siku ya kutuma salamu. You remember that program on KBC?
Yeah, for sure.
It could go up to 10 p.m.
And girls from your region really used to enjoy kutuma salamu.
Acha kwa chocha, they'll just
all right, and I am the sound from my phone is actually coming from me trying to check in for some of your feedback. Kanyi says, good topic. In the Western countries, leaders have come out and declared their COVID-19 status. Here, our leaders are just concealing it. Well, I agree with you. They should actually come out and say, this is what is ailing me. Sindio?
What are they afraid of?
I don't know. I'm not even sure.
When our leaders have cancer, they go out, they always tell us, okay, so-and-so has been diagnosed, so-and-so is in this hospital, abroad or somewhere, is being treated. Even Kibaki is in hospital, it's been out. He was a leader and he was a public figure. So why are these small fishes in the parliament afraid of this thing? They should come out and tell people, okay, we are here, just like the Kilifi DG. He was one of the first prominent people.
Well, did he really have the virus though?
Yeah, he had the virus and he came out, he recovered, but vile case ilianza kuwa ngumu, he started asking if he had the virus.
Well, Emmanuel, Kapkeron Oswald Talam says he loves our station, the program is nice and he's on point. He's also telling us about a signal problem from wherever he's watching us from on his platform. Kindly DM, slide in the DM. Our technicians are here for you. They will sort you out ASAP,
ASAP.
Now, when we report stories, we often empathize greatly with the people affected until we become the people affected. Now, veteran journalists from various media houses have been shown the door, from radio to TV to the newspapers. No division has been spared. Can we take a moment, Emmanuel, to check on a journalist, ensure they are okay during this pandemic period? We are here busy bringing you the news and, doing whatever it is we are supposed to do. We are forgetting to take care of ourselves.
You see, the journalists, they go day and night. They sacrifice for everyone to get the stories. No one will know about these stories if you're not for the journalists.
For sure.
So, long time ago, sometimes back, we could hear of people like Leonard Mambo Mbotela. They worked for decades in these particular houses, media houses. And it's high time that the journalists should get their way and let them. We don't know what's happening actually, but we've had different journalists, bigwigs from different media stations, either quitting or being
axed. Then you're looking for the politically correct term to use,
Yeah. So it's something to worry about. But these people got the experience, and they should be challenging us. Like 7 p.m. we saw was it Mwanaisha?
Yes, Chizuga. And David Mudoka is on standby. Yeah. Those are good vibes. They're just showing us that even with the end of your tenure in a certain company, things do not really have to go sideways,
Exactly. So she ventured into another business, then she's surviving. So I think us in media, we are not safe from the acts. Sometimes back, that's where media was safe. You could know ABCD is immovable. So the trend is worrying, but let's hope it will change.
I agree with you, Emmanuel, and it's important as well that we humanize these people we see.
They are mentors to the other journalists. So if someone is aspiring to be like Tracy, then Tracy is not there, that particular person will say, okay, so...
I actually agree with you, and I really feel the pain, especially because we saw earlier on now, away from scribes to the comedy industry, where depression has been deep-rooted, and we have seen comedian Zedi just come out to say there is a lot of depression among artists, and it really got me thinking we need to humanize the people who bring us the news.
You see, the problem with our comedy and depression is most of those people, you see, most of them are upcoming, and when you are upcoming, you try to strive harder to be on the better platform. So when these guys get to the better platform, higher platform, remember they have nothing. behind them. It's just the talent and whatever. Pesa ijaanza kuingia vizuri, but they try to live with the expectation of the people. So people expect you to drive Lexus LX70 or Mercedes GLS 530 or 500, but in your heart you cannot even drive. You cannot, in your pocket, cannot afford a Toyota Belter 1000cc. So it's try to.
The only car you can drive, is that one that we do not want to mention, eh?
So you find these people are trying to live to please the audience, but deep inside themselves they are suffering. So you find whatever they are getting from where they are doing comedy is small, it's not big enough.
And we have and Emmanuel, I agree with you, and we have seen people come out on social media and bash some of these big names who have lost their jobs.
People, big names like, let's say, Nyambane, Churchill, Jalango, all these big names, Papa Shirandula, they didn't start from the top level. They started from somewhere. Like I was looking at the Jalango, in 2009, he was driving a very small car.
Oh, in 2009. Where were you, Emmanuel, in 2009?
Less than 300cc. Let's avoid that. But I was outside.
At least you had
hustling.
been born, yeah?
I was hustling. I was hustling. I was outside. So, but right now, he's driving another class of the car. You see, he was developing those steps. Alikuwa anapanda step by step, guys. But right now, someone pops up, then he trends on Twitter 2 weeks, 1 month, then that particular person is a celeb. He wants to live this particular life. Yet, to reach there, hakuna kitu rahisi. You need to strive to reach there. So that's where you find it. And you see most of these comedians who are dying and of depression. Others are artists. We saw the other one who jumped from the flood somewhere and died, committed suicide. They are younger people. They are not older generation. They are young, but they want to stay like they're in their 40s or in their 50s. Forgetting that those people are in their 50s and have made it, they had to go through somewhere, they pass somewhere.
Yeah,
so
for sure, I agree
let's try
with you,
to live by our means. Let's try to live the way our pockets are, and it will be hard for stress to get onto us.
For sure, and I really wish everyone who has suffered job losses during this COVID-19 period all the best, Emmanuel.
You should also be laughing at yourself, at your jokes. You need to be happy. You know, when you laugh, stress inapoteza kidogo. But don't usipoteze watu stress, then you take their stress into you and give up in life.
Well, I really hope we will see a framework, either by the sector, by the government, by, I don't know, just people, Emmanuel, trying to come out and support people who are in the arts industries, in the media as well. Now, it seems our children are not safe, from increased teenage pregnancies to minors consuming alcohol in Busia, and even the murder of children in Naivasha. It pains me, Emmanuel. Why aren't you protecting our younger generation? What is going on? Our children, what is happening?
You see, it's a sad state of affair. First of all, the children who lost lives in Naivasha, actually it's their mother who took them down. Tracy, you give birth to 4 children, then one day you wake up, they are no longer there. Life imekuwa ngumu, and you just decide to kill them. Then the other day you saw in Earth River, where 2 children were found dumped in a crashed car in a police station. So you wonder, why is the children now becoming a soft target? Why are children disappearing? Why are children... Actually, children need to be one of the most protected people, both with parents and even the strangers. Ukiona mtoto, he or she is valuable, you need to protect that particular child. But right now, tunapata the children are just dying, they are disappearing anyhow. So then we start trying to go back to parenthood.
And I really hope, it really breaks my heart, Emmanuel, especially because when we look at a scenario where we do not protect our children, I don't know what we expect of our future generations. Now, President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday, as he was speaking on the Kazi Mtaani initiative, said the chiefs are actually to blame. They are to blame for the safety of children not being to standard. Really, Emmanuel?
Sometimes I wonder who writes the script of the president.
Wow. You do not love life, brother.
No,
Why would you just say that?
Because if you say the chiefs are to be blamed, like the conflict was it in Naivasha where the mother killed 4 children, how is a chief related to that particular story? You don't know what is going in the mind of someone to just wake up one day and kill the children. Then how is the chiefs responsible to that? The chiefs, yes, they need to be careful. They need to try and take care of these people. But then again, when the devolution came, the provincial administration was broken down. So Chief anajua ana say. Unlike before, where chiefs had a whole army in their camps. But then now, you see, so you can't just blame the chiefs. You saw the other day, chiefs were being told, okay, if the children get pregnant in your area, you'll be responsible for those pregnancies. So what should the chief do? Yet the parents are not there to take good care of the children, and be what to do. Mtoto akikosa, the parent will come out, grant blessing, kutetea ule mtoto. So sometimes you should start with the parents, then you go to the chiefs. Yeah, so
and I feel like mental health, is one of the things that we should really be discussing in this country. Even before COVID-19, we have had issues of children not being taken care of as much as we would love them to. All right. So as we finish up, because Linda Lela is in studio here with us.
I wish the camera was.
Linda was a timekeeper when she was in high school.
I wish you saw what she's doing to me.
Well, Emmanuel, as we finish up, we have seen a trending individual today, and I do not know why this has become a trend all of a sudden. There is one Mr. Mathenge who has now become an advocate of the High Court. The man is a Rastafarian.
You see,
why are we, and Victor is here.
Maybe he should come here and show us his dreadlocks and tell us why. Okay, so you see, you've talked of Mr. Mathenge, and I've just, you've reminded me of the Sifa Sunday show, which will be running from this Sunday.
For sure. I see what you've done with it.
One of the hosts is Mr. Mathenge, but not the Rastafarian one.
All right,
okay. Different. So, an irony, coincidentally, the co-host of Mathenge of Sifa Sunday, he's an advocate.
All right. Okay.
The DJ, he's an advocate.
Clearly, we cannot miss this show, and especially now that we have no excuse, we are no longer going to church physically, so your Sunday is sorted. We begin with Mass at Holy Family Basilica, then after Dunda ya Yesu kidogo with Sifa Sunday. Our Sundays are sorted.
Yeah, so the Mathenge, the Rastafarian, I think is a good thing. You see, most of the time, Rastafarians are huwa wanachukuliwa kama watu hawana akili, people who are dirty or whatever, but it's their culture. They're not dirty. These people they have the cleanest mind, they have everything, but just that they have long hairs. Sometimes, not all Rastafarians have long hairs. Sure. People tend to relate them with gangsters or whatever. But seeing Mr. Mathenge in the court with the dreadlocks, it will give hope to people. We've seen so many people, even young children who are Rastafarians with dreadlocks, going to school, but the principal says you cannot be admitted to this school unless you shave your hair.
And it's the high time we see people stop this discriminatory
If you are a believer, in the Bible you have Samson. He had so many big dreadlocks. Since he was born, he never shaved the hair.
And Victor is here saying hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Victor, come and tell these people. Victor, come here.
See.
This guy is a dreadlock.
And he's a super cameraman.
You see, he's neat. So people tend to relate the Rastafarians to this funny stuff. But let me even tell you, Tracy, personally, I'm also a Rastafarian. So
what do you mean?
Yes. You don't need dreadlocks to be a Rasta.
Okay. I think that is where we close this show, man.
But you are.
Okay, we have one Paul Van E, who is watching us from Lamu. Thank you so much for keeping us company.
What's the name again?
Paul Van E. I do not know.
Is it a Chinese?
We do not discriminate. Anyone is welcome to watch the other news.
Vile umeongea the last name, it takes me back to the state inaitwaje? The Chinese state, right? Yeah, one confirm. That's what Linda is saying.
Ni hao, that is how they say their greetings. Clement Muriemi is actually watching as well. Asante sana. I think that is my cue to leave, yeah?
What about the Umoja guy?
Who?
Ule jamaa maji Umoja.
I don't know where he is today. Super fun. Comment. Let us take this discussion online. Coming up in a few minutes. Linda, Leila, and the whole Good Vibes team. So ensure you keep it here on TV47. My name is Tracy Mukami. This has been In Other News. Enjoy your weekend. See you Wednesday for Body Garage.
To all Rastafarans, there's only one jar.
You know, it's time to go home.